Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another one of my videos going over the classes that are available in EverQuest Legends. On this one, I wanted to go over the Rogue and talk a little bit about their strengths and abilities and stuff like that, and things to consider when you're picking the class, as well as some of the class combo trios that I like that go well with a Rogue. I'm re-uploading this one to talk about their abilities like BackStab, which I said originally had an additional multiplier if you hit them from behind, which I was wrong. So I wanted to clarify that one and basically let you know it's full damage from the front or the back. There is no additional multiplier, so it's going to be the same damage from the front or the back. The only thing to really consider there is that from the back you're avoiding some of the ability for the monster to mitigate that hit, but for the stances that they have available, they're going to have balanced stance, evasive stance, offensive stance, range stance, and striker. For their invocations, they have the unyielding invocation. And then, like I mentioned with the backstab, it has become an omni stab, which you can do from any direction. It's doing the full damage from the front or the back, which is really handy. The rogues also have access to a lot of poisons, things like a direct damage poison, a DOT that's going to also be able to give them life back. They have utility poisons that snare the enemies, utilities that drain their mana or make it take longer to cast for the enemy, so really nice on there. They can stack a bunch of different poisons. As you level up, you get access to more that you can have active at a time. Really handy. And they also have really high skill caps, which is a huge benefit for the class. They makes them really nice to augment in with other classes because they're going to have a higher chance to dual wield, higher chance to double attack and stuff like that. So another big highlight that I liked was their escape AA that they have, which will make them drop combat, go invisible, and put them into stealth. It's a really handy ability. Some of the issues that I've seen with it is if the rogue has a dot on them and they try to go and escape, it will put them back into combat. Same thing if the enemy is dotted up. They are going to stay in combat essentially, so it's a little bit tough. You have to be pretty strategic, but it's also opens the door for them to be able to sneak past a lot of the dungeon, go straight to the target that they want to kill, and then if you get caught on the way, you can go and escape, or if you save it for the fight, you could just kill only the named mob that you want to kill, hit the escape and get out of combat to go on to the next target or whatever, or break the camp up and stuff like that. So really nice, handy ability to have. The rogue's backstabs were doing huge damage. I really like the rogue class in here. Things to consider for them is that their sustain is pretty low. If you're relying on their life tap proc from their poisons, I don't find it to be enough to keep them full through a fight, so having a way to augment that is huge. They don't have a mana bar, which I like to mention for these classes that don't have the mana bar, because if you're picking a trio, the trio takes their two highest stat for the two highest sources of mana to give them their total mana bar. And if you have something like a warrior, rogue, cleric, you're only going to be getting the mana bar from the cleric, so that does limit you a little bit. It's something to work around. It doesn't, augment it too much, but it is something. If you're going for something that wants a bigger mana bar, it's something to consider on your trio. So I already mentioned that the escape doesn't drop the DOTs, and that's something that I would like to see. I mentioned just because they don't have like a lot of sustain doesn't necessarily mean I want to give them something that gives them a heal like the monk's mend. It would be cool if they found other ways around that. My thought for something interesting would be like a way, an ability that with a cooldown that they could use that might increase their chance to to evade attacks, you know, up to like, I don't know, 75%, and have multiple ranks that they can increase the cooldown or refresh faster with their backstabs landing, helps to reduce that cooldown or something interesting like that. That they could evade, you know, like 75% of incoming melee damage and 75% chance to resist all spells or something, to give them a burst of survivability on the fights. I think something like that would really be really cool. And then on the similar vein, I was thinking for their escape skill, this class needs something like the monk gets, that's the purified body, so they could clear the debuffs from themselves so they don't get their stealth form broken after they use an escape skill. But, you know, my thoughts were like an antidote. You know, since they have the poisons, it would kind of make sense if they had like an antidote ability that they could use every now and then to help supplement that escape skill and make it a little more reliable. So that's kind of my brief overview on their abilities. As far as like the classes that I think combo really well with it, they go well with everything because of their high skill caps and their big damage. What I think they're really lacking the most is the big sustain and a way to slow an enemy or haste themselves. So what I think really good choices in there would be like the shaman all around for their heals and their slows and the haste. Something like an enchanter is cool because it gives them the haste and the slows. I think a lot of people are considering it with a Shadow Knight because there's some synergy there where the Shadow Knights have the leeches and then the rogues would have the heals coming from their poison. I think that's awesome. Another one I like to shout out is the warrior, because the rogues have that higher chance for damage mitigation because of their high skill caps. So you add that onto a warrior that's already the super tanky, you know, same idea with the Shadow Knight. It's going to help them to survive longer, which is kind of what you want on your tank. So really cool class all around. Let me know in the comments what trios you have found that really work well. I think it's in a great spot. Thank you for watching these videos and all the support that I've been getting. I really appreciate all of you for watching to the end. Thanks a bunch and have a great day.